Hello listeners. Welcome back to Storytime FM. Today we will be looking at some r/AskReddit comments. What should be free? Let's jump right in. You, at 7 p.m. next Friday? Here are some more comments I found. ID cards issued by the government. Especially since you need them for almost every aspect of daily living. Parking at hospitals. According to me in 7th grade, fried chicken on Tuesdays, if I were president. Drinkable water edit. I know why it's not. I just wish there were a way it could be. Let's see what some other people wrote. Dying. CPR lessons edit. Thank you for the upvotes and award. I'm new to commenting, digital shyness ha ha ha. The slaves in the countries where slavery is still legal. Water. Let's see what some other people wrote. Hong Kong. Menstrual products. Therapy and in general mental health help. Insulin. Slightly biased T1D here. Let's see what some other people wrote. Picking your seat on an airplane when booking online for coach seats. Tibet. Healthcare. All levels and types. Pissing, shitting in public restrooms. Not sure whether this is a common thing around the world, but here in the Netherlands, almost all toilets are paywalled. Almost all establishments require purchase or payment. I somewhat get this, I somewhat don't. I'd assume sanitizing toilets is in the staff's duties? Obviously restaurants, bars don't want to deal with the shit of non-payers, pun intended. On the other, foot traffic is foot traffic. A handful of shit is peanuts compared to current day ads. I specifically don't get McDonald's deal with the quarter in lady. What really baffles me is the literally gated off toilets on the massive stations. For one, fondling a machine while having to catch a train is annoying. Second, the station probably costed hundreds of millions, yet the toilet costs $1. At least I get a discount on my next shit. No wonder the alleyways in the cities smell like fermented piss. Let's take a look at some other comments. Parking at the college you go to. Tibet, Hong Kong, and Uyghur Muslims. Any and all forms of contraception. Rainwater. Let's see what other comments there are. People. People should be free. Hospital parking. Where I live, parking garages at public hospitals all seem to be run by private companies and the fees are unhinged. It's a huge amount of pressure to put on people who are already under stress. Public transportation. Internet. Let's take a look at some other comments. All medical dental, not cosmetic. Like filings, wisdom tooth removal, cleanings. Willy. Ambulances. Or at the very least, they shouldn't be as expensive as they can be now. Air for your tires. Let's see what some other people wrote. Birth control. And butter cookies. Probably the kids in my basement. Hearing aids. They don't cost too much, relatively. Research shows that if you need a hearing aid and you go without it, you raise your risk of developing Alzheimer's. I'm 67% deaf, but even government insurance doesn't cover hearing aids. It will cover dental and Alzheimer's up to a point. The cheaper option would be to cover the hearing aid and try to prevent Alzheimer's if you can. Thought. Let's see what some other people wrote. Tampons, toothbrushes, soap and toilet paper. I mean, maybe not free, but I feel like if our taxes pay for electricity for streetlights, emergency services, teacher's salary and a military budget, I'd pay a few cents extra every year to make sure that basic hygiene could be available to the public, you know? Birds. NFA tax stamps. It's stupid that you have to pay a $200 tax to buy or manufacture an NFA item, but it's especially stupid that you have to pay it when buying a suppressor, since they're basically hearing protection. Meals for children, healthcare, condoms, birth control, tampons, education. Here are some more comments I found. Glasses. At-home COVID tests. Therapy. To bet. Here are some more comments I found. Red Dead Online. Healthcare. Absolutely dystopian. We live in a society that just lets people die if they don't have cash. Castration for pedophiles. Divorce. Here are some more comments I found. Rapid antigen tests and ambulances. Insulin. Free just means something someone else paid for. Cable TV. So if I'm paying for these channels, why do I have to watch 20 minutes of commercials per hour? It should be free if I have to watch commercials. Let's take a look at some other comments. Speech. Basic housing. Not the amenities. Just a toilet, bed, and kitchen unit, however small. Just something accessible for every living person. Water. Education, healthcare, housing. And that's before we start talking radical stuff. Let's see what some other people wrote. Do you mean free or publicly funded? Free is a interesting and rare concept. Air and thought. Sanitary products for women, education of all ages, uni, etc., healthcare to everyone. Tampons and pads. We don't bleed voluntarily. FFS. Parking. Let's see what some other people wrote. Citizenship. Period products. Reliable, clean and dignified suicide methods. Insulin. I am no diabetic, but insulin and water should be free. Let's see what some other people wrote. Is it really free if your tax money pays for it? School lunches. Nothing is free. Fuck, should be. If someone is working to provide it, they deserve to earn for it. And if they're earning, someone is paying. Whether it's at point of purchase or through taxation, you're paying. Speech. Let's take a look at some other comments. Tampons, condoms, basic medical care, mental health counseling, life-saving medication, education and many other things that would help bridge the equity gap between very poor and very wealthy people. Glasses. You shouldn't have to pay to be able to see. Feminine hygiene products. Ah yes, the daily question to remind you that people don't understand that every act has a resource and/or energy cost. From the atomic scale all the way up to government policy and beyond. Let's look at some more comments. Water at restaurants. All preventative healthcare. Nothing is free. Water. I'm looking at you, Nestle. Let's take a look at some other comments. Healthcare. But if I had to pick just two things, mental health treatment and birth control, including abortion. Let's see what some other people wrote. Healthcare. That's all we've got time for today. Join us tomorrow for some more comments. In the meantime, leave a comment with your stories and thoughts below. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed and want to see more. Until next time, listeners.